Hi, welcome back. My name is Suzan Smadi. Thank you so much for joining me in this channel. I'm the founder of Sacred Connections. My website is sacredconnections8.com, and I wanted to come on here to talk a little bit about how we create our reality. There's a lot about law of attraction, but it's more accurate to say law of vibration and intention. So how we create our reality is through intention, perception, and belief. So I made a really short video a couple of months ago about our belief systems and how they are a box, a structure. And it is through the breaking of these structures that we're able to create from a place of unlimited potential. But it is fun to create from the limiting potential also. And it is because our perceptions are allowing us to have a specific intention, and that's how we are creating our reality. Due to our perceptions, we are believing a certain structure, right? And that is what really creates our reality. So I just took a trip. I was on vacation and I went to Puerto Rico, great island. But on my way back, I was on the plane, and I really don't like flying that much. I've gotten a lot better with it, but there's a few things that were coming up about our reality. So during my flight, there was some turbulence, and instead of panicking, what I did was I centered myself. I closed my eyes. I breathed in deeply. So breathing in white light and then grounding that energy down through your feet actually helps tremendously in calming yourself down. And at that moment, my guides came in and said, do you see now? Do you see? This is how you're creating your reality. I mean, you know, they play with me a lot like that. And through these experiences, through these tidbits, they are showing me certain dynamics that are playing out in my reality and in our reality. So my intention is to talk about how you can create a better reality. And it is through the following of your heart. What does your heart really want? What does your heart really desire? That is the key thing to express. So we have to break down all these limiting beliefs. And that is why that video that I had made a few months ago came up about the structured boxes that are our belief systems. It's okay to create from that place, but it is so much better to create from limitless potential, from the void. And we have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because it is through the embodying of the uncomfortable that we can actually create from a more authentic place and a more limitless place, right? We are source. We are the source that creates it. We're not separate from source, from God. So we have to really take ownership, and we have to really take responsibility for the creations that we're creating. So a little bit about my background. I have a bachelor's in psychology, and I have a master's in school counseling. But my guides said that is not your highest and best path. Your highest and best path is now to become the creator that you were always meant to be, and to share that with the public, to share that with the world. So is that scary? Absolutely. But it is through breaking down these old structures of fear, because fear is not real. The only reality is love. That's it. Love is the answer. Unconditional love means there are no conditions placed on it. So back when I graduated from school counseling, from my graduate school, graduate school, I was looking for a job as a school counselor, and I really thought I had it all figured out. I really had a plan, and everything was going to be working just fine. But, because of my connection with the other side or other dimensions, I was being told, this is not going to work out. This is not going to work out the way you, as your lower self or your ego self, right, wants to work out. And I tried to bargain with my guidance. I tried to say, well, I can do this on the side. I could do this sort of spiritual work on the down low. And that's why I actually made business cards with my first name only and nothing else. And I started giving those out when I came out doing this type of work. And I was very fearful that it was due to this that I would not be getting a job as a school counselor, because that was my main goal, right? I had just finished graduate school and I really wanted to make that happen. But my higher self and my guidance said otherwise. Even though I was trying to bargain with my guidance, please don't do that. Do not try to bargain with your guides. Do not try to bargain with your guidance, because your guidance really knows what's best for you, no matter what. It is the heart speaking through. It is your heart calling out, right? So why would you want to shut that down? And I had a lot of fear about coming out to the public, about who I am or what I am, or the role that I was actually meaning to play out in this expression. But that is what I'm here to do. So trying to change that is actually very disempowering. What it actually is better and what is empowering is to live out your intention, live out your blueprint, and not try to change that due to fear that you would not be accepted or that you will be persecuted. Especially now when things are so much more open, and these woo-woo type of things, this connecting with other dimensions and connecting with other realities is so much more accepted on a worldwide range than before, say, 100 years ago, from a linear perspective. 100 years ago was this stuff was not good. And we would get mutilated and killed for speaking out publicly about these occult things, these things that not everyone is aware of. But that's the whole thing. We are becoming more and more aware. Our consciousness is rising as this ascension process is happening. And the event that's happening now, it's not happening tomorrow, it didn't happen yesterday, it's happening now. It's an ongoing process, and it's very individual how it's affecting us. But this event is actually about following our heart and being true to that, and being authentic, and coming out to the public with these concepts and these teachings that are actually coming from our higher self and from the other aspects of us that are our guides. These are all our guidances. Our guidance system is actually us and the other aspect of us. So you have to really open up your mind very wide in order to understand these concepts, because these concepts come in such a way that it may not make sense completely on a 3D scale. It will not make sense completely for your left brain, for the analytical and the organizational part of your brain, the yang part of your brain. This is all coming from your right side. And the right side is actually connected to your heart. Okay, so it is through the heart and the following of the heart that we're connecting to the creative side, to the intuitive side of our brain, which is the right side of the brain, and the yin, which is the feminine principle of us, and the principal aspect that is embodying me right now, or that I am embodying. So I don't want to get too deep into this concept because, you know, it gets more scientific and I don't really want to go there now. But I wanted to just share that if we're creating from a place of fear, that is what we will be perceiving. And more fear will come up for you to clear. However, if you are creating from a place of love and heart, miracles happen that way. And the more you do that, and the more trust you place on your truth and your authenticity in your heart, the more rewards you get. And that's really how it works. And that's the law of vibration. Yes, thoughts become things, but it is through the emotional system that we're actually here embodying as a human, right? Our human experience is completely based on emotions, and how we integrate emotions with our thought process and our spiritual understanding and awareness really creates our reality. So it is through the interplay and interconnection of all these concepts and all these aspects that actually creates our reality. So I'm here to share that we really have to trust our heart to lead the way. That's our guidance, and that is what connects us with our higher self. It's our heart. It is not our brain. Our brain is very useful, and specifically the left brain is very useful in getting the 3D things completed and accomplished, but it is through the following of the heart that actually creates from a place that's authentic, and we are able to heal ourselves physically if we do more of that. And not only do we help heal ourselves physically, but we help heal the planet as the planet ascends, because we're all doing this together. We're ascending, the planet is ascending, and we're co-creating a new reality collectively. So we are going into this paradise reality or density. So it's a higher density. We want to talk a little bit about dimensions and densities as a way to understand these concepts, because the 3D is basically what we have sort of integrated and are moving on from. The 3D is very dense and very slow and heavy. And then the 4D is more of the astral plane. So it's about time and how time is just an illusion, and bypassing time and realizing that it is not, it doesn't have to take a lot of time to create the reality that we wish to create. But it has to do with following the heart, which is the 5D experience. The 5D experience of choosing the heart, or more specifically, of having the choice to choose the heart and to choose love. That's the whole 5D experience. And for most of us, that choice is very clear, that we want to co-create heaven here on earth. That was the whole point of us coming here and trying to figure this whole system out. And I know that some of you are very in tune with this information because you're probably very connected. And if you are not so connected, the fact that you're watching this and listening to these teachings is indicative that you are wanting to head that way anyway. And it is about opening your heart, and it is about trusting your heart and understanding what the heart wants and what the heart knows. And the heart knows that there is no separation. The heart knows that the illusion of ego, right, of fear, is not real. That the only real, the only reality, and the only thing that actually creates is love. So if you're creating from a place of fear, more of that will be shown for you to perceive how you could create better. But you still have that choice. Do you choose love or do you choose fear? Do you choose love or do you choose to separate yourself from love? We're all about to choose love. That's what this event is really targeting. We are choosing love. A lot of us have moved over to the 5D arena, but some are still working out the 4D, and a very few people are still in 3D. But for the most part, collectively, we are in 5D already. And that's what this whole Ascension and this event is all about. It is about oneness. It is about understanding the concept of love, of true unconditional love, and choosing oneness. Now, conspiracy theories are based on fear. So if you love conspiracy theories, you're probably creating a lot from a place of fear. And you are probably more inclined to be in the 3D or 4D as opposed to 5D, because the 5D on a major scale is about choosing love as opposed to fear. The 5D experience is all about choosing, right? Because Christ consciousness is all about choice and choosing from a place of love, because that's really truly the only choice available, right? It is through the choosing of love that we are creating heaven on earth, and that we are bringing down heaven on earth. And we're doing this collectively, and we're doing this co-creatively. We are co-creators in this beautiful scheme, or reality dream matrix, because it's still matrix. We're creating that fabric as we speak. And we are connecting more with our multidimensional selves also. So I may do a video about that later, and I just wanted to keep this at this point here now. So if you fear, going back to the airplane thing, if you fear death, you will create that. It's as simple as that. What you believe to be true, you are creating. You create from your beliefs. We are all creating from our beliefs. We are all creating from our emotions. Our emotions is what gives the fire that creates reality. It is the thoughts and the feelings combined that creates the reality. So it is the belief that actually creates what the thoughts are projecting. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. Check out my blog, sacredconnections8.com, and I will see you soon. Thanks. Bye. All my love.